Hello. Good morning. This is Discover Your Missing Link. It's exactly at 11:39, and we are vibing in the studio fired up for today's topic because this is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend that Discover Your Missing Link has begun. We are here to make sure that relationships heal, relationships discover ways on how to make that relationship beautiful. So this is Godwin, your brother and friend, and we are ready. And I've got woman and man of God in the studio, fired up, very, very energetic, and ready for today's topic. Woman of God, how are you?
I'm blessed. How are you?
Good. Just a brief, I know people know you. Brief, who are we talking to this morning?
You're talking to Queen Matamando. Yes.
Christine. Man of God, how are you?
All right, thanks. How are you, Mr. Mango?
A brief background about yourself.
This is Pastor Martin Money, lead pastor of Divine Assignment Ministries, the graphic designer, videographer, TV producer, and I think the list goes on. There are many things that I do: a counselor, a coach, a content specialist.
Mm-hmm.
The list is endless.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You even counsel couples.
Yes. We do counsel. In fact, I have a passion for couples actually.
Beautiful.
For those that want to get married, I have a very special teaching for those, because many of them have got questions. How do I know the right one? I love those, and so those that are already in it also. How do I get out of what I am in? So I love to talk to couples. I love your vision, and that's the reason why I bought into this vision, because it relates with what I love.
Beautiful.
There are a lot of broken homes because there's lack of knowledge.
Beautiful. And the Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. Huh?
Very true.
Yeah, so knowledge is very important and very, very significant. And today's topic is something that is vibing, something that is good. Disclaimer, 18 and below. Bafumepo abana bayithi. But I don't know bafumepo at least 18 and above, so that they can be able to relate and be able to understand. Those who are 18, they'll be able to understand the journey where they're going, so that they'll be able to understand certain things. Why? What is the purpose of sex? Are you just supposed to be doing it anyhow? Or there's a purpose for it? Alright. So, Pastor Martin.
Yes, sir.
Just in few words, what can you say is the significance of this topic? Just for the viewers and the listeners on YouTube, on Facebook. What is the significance of this topic?
Okay, so let me begin with looking at the word purpose, because we're looking at the purpose for sex in marriage. The word purpose means the reason for the existence of a thing.
Reason
for the existence
of a thing.
The reason why. You understand? So there are many things that people do without a purpose, and then if we don't understand, or now where purposes are known, abuse is inevitable. So
where
purpose
is not known,
abuse is inevitable. People abuse.
But I'm why issue for child whatever
abuse. You will abuse.
Nice.
For example, you go to a shop, you buy a very nice glass table with your beautiful wife. But Darius doesn't know this is a table. He saw someone singing on a stage, and he thinks this is a stage. When you come, you say, my boy, this is not a stage. You are abusing it. I bought it for something serious. You understand? So where purposes are known, abuse is inevitable. So we need to put things in perspective here from the onset. Sex is a gift from God, very beautiful, but it has restrictions confined to married couples. Whatever you do, wherever you do, if you're not married, it's illegal. No, it's illegal. It's illegal. It's like you want money, you can't just go and issue was end up You need money, yes, but that's not your money. You need legally gotten money. That's why Paul said, so that
to avoid fornication,
so that
let each man have his wife.
So that you get to a level where you can play Hillsong while enjoying without having any guilt conscience.
Awesome, very significant. Woman of God, from a woman's perspective, what is your take? What do you think is the significance of this topic?
Yeah, the significance, I think he has explained much about it, but let me just add on more.
Yeah,
from the woman perspective, I would say it's one of the responsibilities God has given a woman who is married. We are talking about married people here. A woman who is married to be submissive in the marriage. Yes. And one of the instruments to use as a woman who is submissive in marriage is sex.
Beautiful.
Yes.
It's one of
yes,
the weapons for submission.
Like he has said, the pastor has put it all that that's why it has to be practiced with conscience, not outside marriage, because sex was initiated by God. It's an instrument totally totally practiced in marriage, and a woman who practices sex is a married woman. Yes, not a woman who is not married.
Beautiful. So if you're not married and you're indulging in sex, it's illegal. The man of God has said illegal. The woman of God will let fly. So if you are listening and these things are happening out of marriage, you've got time to reconcile back with God so that you can be able to understand the purpose of sex, why God made it and why it is existing, so that it is done the right way at the right time. Beautiful. Let's dive direct into the topic. Man of God.
Yes, sir.
I want us to get an inch of this purpose.
Okay.
How can one know and understand this purpose of sex in a relationship or in marriage?
Okay, so if you want to understand the purpose of a thing, you ask the originator. Because
the originator.
The one wants to be
it's like wakupera computer one latest. All while research. As long as you don't use the manual, you might not know. Go back to the people who made it.
Who made it and say, why did you make it? So anyone who wants to understand issues with marriage, relationships, and sex, it's God who created this. And so there's no better place than in the Word to understand all these things. So I think I can highlight about three major purposes. Number one is procreation, of course. God wants, he created only Adam and Eve, but he wanted the multiplication to start happening.
Go and fill up the
earth. And so the multiplication process happens through sex. So that's number one reason why God put it there, so that we can procreate. Okay. He didn't want to start creating a Godwin, a Martin, and he just created the two and said, whoever be the Christian child. And then so people started, so there's need for that. But we need to always emphasize it's an honor to God when you have your child in marriage, because that's what God ordained for it. So we need to keep on emphasizing this. It's not for every other person. I know people like abusing things, but it's in marriage. It's number one. Number two,
not abusing.
I've even heard people, a woman will say, no, I think they've got a someone who listen. Break the law.
We cannot break the law of God just because
you want something.
Yes,
you can't.
Woman of God, before it goes to number two, you can chip in with the purpose from the woman's side perspective.
Yes, from the woman perspective point of view, like I was talking about submission. Sex is one of the things that God has ordained to equip a woman to take care of her husband. Why am I saying so? There are times, it's a psychological desire, let's be open, it's a psychological desire that God has put in man. Both parties have that desire. But there is an extra desire that comes from a man. Yes, and me as a woman, there are times I may not really desire to have it. But God has mandated me, has given me a responsibility to satisfy the desire of a man who is a husband.
Okay.
Yeah. This topic, this word sex is also attached to healthy. Health issues have got something to do with stress. Sometimes somebody gets stress. If you research more about it, you'll find that it's something that can relieve stress. It's something that can make one rest. How? By just being provided by one, and then you take care of a home. We're talking of a matrimonial home. Yeah. So one of the responsibilities of a woman, to make sure that a man is satisfied. I think we've heard these stories even in courts. Okay, nichani mwabwela pana tawe kunyumba kuli problem. These things are there. So someone who is refusing to provide,
to do the conjugal rights. So from what I'm hearing from you, healthy benefit or the health part is another purpose of sex, because just through that act to be able to improve the health of the people involved in it.
Precisely.
Beautiful. And I've liked the part where you talked about a man has got an extra age in terms of the sexuality. You find that these are certain things that maybe people who are married might not understand. To a man, sex means something else than the way it means to a woman. So once we're able to understand these two parts, be able to do the right thing. To a man, when you deny a man sex, do you know what happens? Because to a man, sex is a way of the way they can connect with a woman. It's the way they feel respected. It's the way they feel loved. Now, to a woman, she needs to reach a place for her to indulge in there. So a man needs to know that a woman does not just get into sex just like that. You know what I'm talking about? She needs to be taken to that place to feel. When she feels respected, she feels she's heard, she feels that she's elevated, she feels that she's put in that place for her to indulge in there, which is different from a man. But when a man does it, they feel like that. That's why you find that most of the time, the people are starved than men. You know that, eh? Yeah.
Not that they are starved, but there is
they are punished. But are punished. Morechi mona. If I'm agita, toara mona. How you, Queen Matamando, Pariana, Chufia? Yes, one of God.
It's a wide topic.
Yeah.
I must mention, it's a wide topic. It has a lot of angles. I love the fact that she has also mentioned the issue of stress relief. Actually, is something that is scientifically proven. Okay, but like as she was mentioning and as you chipped in, I don't even know which angle now to attack. From which angle?
You have talked about procreation. She has talked about health part.
No. I may want to talk about the issue of an extra age.
Okay. Beautiful.
And I also want to sound a warning that we must also be wary of lust. Sometimes, Bambi, libido ya over, and you are turning to lust, because this is something that you see.
Last time,
I don't know how. Okay, but if we are to define lust in English, it's uncontrollable desire for something. If that desire you can't control. So when you have a desire that you can't control, it turns into lust. You can have lust for power, lust for money. lust for sex.
Ah,
And you can even be married, but you are still having a problem with lust.
And
then there's a statement I want to mention that lust is an itch that sex cannot manage to scratch.
Lust is an itch that sex cannot manage to scratch. What you mean by that?
Ngakamba kuti maya ichi chirakura kuti ndikambapo chilimunga kunyerekeza kwakuti
sunganyereza
uyesa kunyaula but kule ifwenya parasi wapanga nechiro. I think you've had the situation where pare baba kule ifwenya but parasi that's what last year. Yeah, it's uncontrollable. So we need to make sure that what is there, that desire we're calling that age that is extra, it must be controllable. For example, as a counselor, I've had cases where a woman is in her period and the man has an age and the woman says, please, can you wait? Look at what is it. And the man can't wait. If you're not money, I'm not money. You understand? So we need to also, as we are teaching people, we need to also to sound some warnings. We need to also have self-control. Self-control.
Now, man of God and woman of God, maybe someone might be saying that, me, it's like it's in our family. I'm married, we're quite okay. But it's like, I always have that thirst for extra marito. You know, where you want to, they are always out that there. But their spouse, maybe they don't know. They have got this age every time. They're not satisfied with one. How do they come out of that?
That's now, is it me?
Okay,
all right, so, it's not normal. You understand? Because when you are married,
someone is married, and anything what is making them?
Last to because last you can't control. A person who has got last will look at this woman. Wow, look at this woman, so beautiful. Even a woman can also have lust. There are some people, I've handled cases that sometimes you even feel bad. You feel pity for a person. It's a woman who has got uncontrollable desire and never gets satisfied, no matter how. So that one becomes spiritual. You understand? At some point. And we've seen marriages also break at the courts because of extra age. Ati batusha kunwa menshi. Batusha kunwa menshi after one menshi batwalira from whatever time. No, but when are you going to have time to rest and time to plan?
I think now when it goes that now I come back to what you said. It's abusing. Abuse, not understanding the purpose. You're not supposed to use it as a way of inflicting pain on someone else. No. It's supposed to be enjoyed. Something that is an act of worship.
In fact, let me say this. There's a difference between sex and making love.
Okay.
So what we should be talking about is love making. If we have to talk about it in a very wise and better sense. You have sex with anyone, but you can only make love to someone. So this happen when and just considering themselves, and men are friend is ready, whether your friend has reached climax, you just look at yourself, because love is not self-centered. So if you are self-centered, as long as yourself you have reached climax, you have finished, you are not even considerate of your friend. So love is not self-centered. So when
I like that part. So that's what love making is. There's a love relationship. There's a union. It's a two-way street. I've liked it. It's not just you getting the climax, getting there. Mwenesa to Africa. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. I've worshipped. Now, has your wife worshipped with you as well? So it's not self-centered. You're supposed to worship together. Meaning that if the worship reaches the climax, you're supposed to reach that Holy of Holies together.
You carry your partner along.
In the Holy of Holies.
But you know where the problem is? Let me mention this. I'm glad we have a woman here. From my research, I've discovered that when women are going into marriage, they are properly trained how to satisfy a man. You know where I've had issues with this? We concentrate on a woman to satisfy a man who doesn't have struggle in satisfaction. Men have no problem with satisfaction.
So tunafunda sana abana kashi then that's a struggle to reach the climax. That's not struggle.
Almost every time. You know, climax of a man is a climax of a man is ejaculation. So which means as long as a man has ejaculation, whether it's 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, whatever time, as long as there's ejaculation, he has climax. For a woman is different. So I want to just suggest, can we start changing our curriculum to start training men how to satisfy?
Because curriculum
satisfied so our refer kamungando ku train abaume sana mwana kashimureba tikamire the person you are focusing to satisfy
I love that point, because most of the time these are the things that we hear in the homes. A home is broken. No, you, why did you do this? No, so you get what I'm talking about. Why? Because it's starting from the counseling process. Maybe how they were counseled. One day now this person not sana, and then you expect them to be at the same level. You get what I'm talking about? I love the part that you said. You know, she talked about the part of satisfying a man. And a man also, as she's taught to satisfy a man also needs to be taught to satisfy what? A woman.
But the question I have is it difficult to satisfy a man? Okay, from a man's perspective, I'll tell you that I don't think that the curriculum, for me, a man, to be honest, speaking from a man's perspective, it's very easy. So even in detailed teaching, it's like you are giving money to someone who is already rich. Let's concentrate on the poor, give them money. So you know what I'm trying to say? Because sometimes women are told that there are women that have confessed to me that they were told, forget about yourself. It's a man. You must make sure he's satisfied. And they're like, in the long run, she is doing a good job, but the man himself, yes, he's reaching great heights. But this person to them kalipanomba mkati ali shala kofi. Like it's a taboo plan.
But this is what because when a relationship together, it's not just for the man or for a woman, it's both of you are in this relationship.
Very true.
Yes. So maybe just to add on what you are saying, the counselors, you have talked about procreation. You have talked about health. There's another part also of enjoyment, because this it's a fully packaged.
In fact, I said enjoyment was going to be the next part.
Yeah. So most of the people, they concentrate on the climax. For a man, ejaculation at the end. But you know that the importance is the man to take there. Because as you have said, for a man it's easy. 1 minute or less is done. But it's not all about ejaculation. It's making sure that the process that takes you to there is well enhanced and well played by the both, so that you can be able to reach together. You can be able to score together. You can be able to worship and reach the whole of God is what? Together. So that process, most of the time, it is forsaken. It's not adhered to. Because once you forsake the process, how it takes, what takes you to reach there, you might end up procrastination. You might end up procrastinating. Yes, my Lord God.
Yes. So for me, I think it all goes back to knowledge. I'll mention this. I think the time that I've been doing the counselings, I've noticed that there's a lack of information. For example, the way a woman responds sexually and the way a man responds is different. For example, a man is taken mostly by what he sees. What he sees. A woman needs words, needs touch for her to get to a certain level. A man can just see a woman with a mini skirt. If you noticed, Jesus, when he was teaching, when he talked about adultery of the heart, he addressed men, not women. He says, whoever looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery of the heart, which means men are imaginative. They'll look at, that's the reason why we can also talk about some of these things. A woman is at home, you dress like your grandmother. You want your husband to be desiring you. You dress with your thing up down there. Men are imaginative. You need to make sure that you entice your man. But see, a man will see and be enticed and is going to have an arousal. A woman is different. She needs to hear sweet words. She needs to get a touch. You understand? And
I love you. Shan, you are very beautiful. One of the beautiful women all over the world.
So it takes longer for a woman. You understand? And so, because a man doesn't have the information, for me, I feel the men don't have the information. Okay. They don't have information, and that's self-centeredness. Now makes them to always concentrate on them. Others just assume that because of the fact that I've climaxed, I think also my friend. And you'll be amazed. I've heard stories of also where women fake orgasm to try and impress a man. Because
why should it happen like that?
So that he doesn't feel like he's less of a man. You understand? So there are all those things that happen. So I think information and knowledge is what is going to help out to understand the differences in how women respond and how men respond. Women are like so a man in my teachings, I tell men to forget about themselves in the beginning to a certain level and concentrate on a woman because I've ever. So it's like it's better. You understand? And then so you as a man, since like to get to climax, can you forget about yourself and prepare this one? Concentrate on this one until at a certain level, then you join in
I love that. Woman of God.
What Pastor is talking about has really left a gap in society and which needs to be filled. I like it that he's put it very plainly that it's a man who has left behind in terms of a knowledge gap. You know, as a woman, I'm here, I'm married, I was taught. And I can assure you that I think we are different from the way we are taught, as in how men are taught. Yes. He's put a very good point in the sense that when it comes to intimacy, the journey has to be together. And just to be truthful, women, we are slow in terms of responding to this topic. We are very, very slow, and we are attracted by a touch of words. Yeah, so let me speak a bit of Benga, I don't know it. You find that maybe he's at work. He can't even remember that he's left a woman at home, he's left a wife at home. He's just busy with his things. And when he comes back, he is a man who is not even romantic. Yeah. No, as long as him is there and then he goes and
if sometimes like what you have said, you go to a message.
I love you.
I love you.
Okay, can I bring you this? Yeah. Our chocolate. Even here, 10 kwacha. She will appreciate it.
I like that.
Yeah, and then you are preparing somebody for something, and then when you get back home, trust me, she'll be prepared for you. Now imagine myself if I'm going. No.
So understanding what takes a woman and what takes a man to be in that mood is very much important. What takes a woman is different from what takes a man. Yes,
Counselor, how can that gap be? Has there been a research as in how that gap can be felt? Because I think this is a very serious issue in men.
I've been doing my own research. Because of my role as a counselor, you have a lot of cases that I've handled. I remember one particular incident way back where a man came and told me he was about to send his young brother away from the house. I said, what happened? He said, Pastor, I'm chasing my young brother. So what happened was that there was fellowship in the night. And then the man left the woman alone. He's done. And the woman feels like the trafficker. And so the woman asks the husband, this is a true story. Can you ask your young brother to come and help? These are issues. And the man, immediately, the following day, he packed luggage for the young brother and say, go. I don't want you to know.
All right. So, I think before the councillors continue, let us just we're going to read the situation of the day, so that as we continue, as we're waiting for the callers, then we make sure that whatever points we have come with, let's make sure that we exhaust them.
All right.
In the shortest possible period of time. So our callers, you can be able to call us on 978-332-5332 to contribute and be able to contribute to this situation of the day. So we've got a situation of the day which needs help. So councillors, I want you to be very much attentive to this. This is very, it's even in relation to the topic that we're talking about. So this is a couple, but the woman is the one who has written this. So we need to be able to help so that we see how we can be able to salvage this relationship. So this is the situation of the day. Let's be attentive. The message reads, good afternoon, councillors. I've got an urgent matter which needs your attention. Me and my husband, we are both health professionals and have been married for 3 months. We had courted for 2 years. During the years of our courtship, my husband and I agreed that no sex before marriage. And my husband was very much categorical about it. My husband and I agreed that no sex before marriage. Now, after getting married, I have discovered that my husband has got a micro penis. I advised him that he should try traditional medicine for enlargement, but he has refused. What should I do? Because sexually, I am frustrated. I don't feel a thing. And why didn't he tell me that he's got this condition? I feel betrayed, Mrs. Frustrated. Okay. So listeners and viewers on YouTube, you can go to call us on 0978-325-332. What do you think this couple should do? What do you think this couple, the woman has written to us? She needs advice. She feels like she was betrayed by the husband. At first in Chile, the couple, they courted courtship for 2 years. Then in courtship, Papa remember such time emphasize that if you relationship 3 months, no sex before what? Before marriage. Asumina. Once my health workers asumina. Then they courted for 2 years. Then after 2 years, by Saupana. Right now, body for 3 months. After marriage, such found out that Papa remember the condition. Kudia kuwa wamekaa nono sana. It's a condition, it's a medical condition. Something that happens maybe during the first stages when the baby is born. If certain things are not done, it goes to a micro. This is different. Micro is different from a small penis. It's different. It's something which is very, very small. So after marriage, I started to find out that a condition about what. Then I am a traditional medicine. This was health. I think maybe medical they tried to find out whatever they could. So I said, "I know traditional enlargement medicine. Now I can know me. I'm a medical personnel. This we can't do. I'm also a Christian. This I cannot do. So area shiri papa mwaka shinomba abe shokba shitakomvisa abantu mena abakana then umwana kashari naba frustrated. Mama now frustrated. Then she's putting the coins together. Women do this. I am parent but no sex before marriage. Was it just a what?
A trick.
A trap, a trick to trick me to marry. Okay, we've got a call. Good afternoon. Wilo walishani mkwae. Atibachirufia? Okay. Watoto tena mwafiashi. Bachirufia wafiashi baranda tawe. ngai poto ikarashani ena chaikarape akose fie mchupo nambo mala gashina kosa nawe ileta banje bili ngabari nje bili nalifa kupanga decision yemu ineleka before ichupo not tulato akupa no na homfu ili yashi ngabanje bili before so I don't know what should this woman do? You can call us on 0978-325332. Call us on 0978-325332 and have your voice. Mwana malapo shani. Tuba achita shani ba mayo aba mwati. Kuriya fo banga chite finga wafa so that ichichupo tu aseva, wachi seva mwantu wakwalesa. Call us on 0978-325332. Wachi mfiana dawe na weka defi. Tebeka feyo evo bampanga bevela fine tapale futunga chitanga wa start foresight maybe achitekwe vine kuma sangati vai sanga muri mwamuni. What do others think? What do you think should be able to be done so that this situation can be able to be salvaged? Pastor Martin, what did you say?
Okay, so firstly, when you look at such a condition, it's something that is caused by hormones. That the person, it has nothing to do with the person. These are things that are, I think, beyond the levels of a man. And I'm sure there is one of the reasons why probably that he said we should not indulge in sex. It could be because they fear God, but another reason could have been if she discovers this, probably she might leave me. You understand? So that could have been the reason. So now here's my take. I know that there are many people that do a lot of things to do enlargement. We must sound everywhere. So we need to be very careful, firstly, with all these things. I've heard stories of a man who wanted enlargement. It became abnormal. It was a woman who actually pushed him. It became abnormally big. She started crying again. You understand? So both are health personnel. If they cannot be, because like even in the health there are different specialties. Specialization. So they need to see a gynecologist first for health advice. He may be a doctor or maybe a nurse, but you have got people that are specialized. Yeah. So he should now take away insomnia and go and explain so that they get a professional advice. You understand?
What can be done?
Because there are certain questions that probably as a person I would want to know. For example, yes, it's a micro. Does it erect? It's a question I would want to find out.
Yes.
Okay.
No, it does everything.
All right.
By just that, so it's below the norm. So a small penis, a medium, and a large. So micro in a waist by no. It's something that is very small.
Do you know my take? I've always thought, and I've always believed.
Woman of God, woman of God, what is okay, so listeners, you can be able to call us on 0978-325332 to add your contribution, your voice, so that we can be able to know how this woman should be able to sort out this issue. She has written to us, this is the situation she's facing. 3 months in a relationship, and she feels like giving up. Situation okay, we've got a call. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Varishani mkwe.
Wino mulishani mkwe.
Wino tuende na manani.
Chipalo from Chilanga.
Manani from Chilanga?
Chipalo from Chilanga.
Chipalo from Chilanga. Mwewa fiashi. Mwenenda poshani padidi yashi. Tuwarawa poshani mamayo.
Apo wate tapadi. Kabidi ba chirupena ba isokolo. Songa mwachiula phone. Mwapela uyo nasi. Watu walandishanya no munangu wa kwechoko problem. Thank you.
This straight to the point. How it can be assorted. That is the man's take from there. What do others think? What should this woman do? Because I don't for every day for what the body move bari mutrika kuti opwe so ngaopwa achikaba difficult to kufumamo nomba pale unakwati ndikushita fe give up because she feels like she was cheated. She feels like nalikweta ma rights ya kuishi bali yabaka no condition wao ni before tabalangupa so that ngane panga decision na panga okay mweba mwadi let's go or iyo so na chishupa aba ishokuba patikisha ko aba meranda that no if you are forcing me, that means that you are younger sana. Because the wangala sana, to feel it on, if you Woman of God, want to say something?
Wow, there are three things involved here. The first thing, like the pastor said, to seek medical condition.
Medical advice.
Yes, medical advice. And the other thing that I would advise my sister who's going through that is that she needs to let it down. Let her not blow it too much and seek advices from people who have never even faced such things before. Like that man, yes, it sounded funny, but I think it's something that can be done.
It becomes easy to learn from someone who's passing through it.
Exactly. Then the other advice that I would give her is that she needs to be prayerful. Before she seeks these things we're talking about, she needs to seek wisdom, as in how this can be handled. Yeah, because it sounds a bit complicated that it can even break a home if not handled carefully. Number 3 months,
3 months
it means that you are not seeking wisdom or maybe advice from the right people. Yeah, I know when she was going in this marriage, she had a matron. And the matron isn't far from her as I'm talking right now, because we are just 3 months in marriage. The matron is near you. So these matrons we hire, they have the responsibilities, and one of the responsibilities is the same thing. Whenever you're faced with such thing, go back to your matron. Mama, how can I handle this? It's not something that has to be blown anywhere.
Out of proportion.
I think she's a young person, because if she's just 3 months in marriage, and then if she involves these youths in it, they'll say, why are you wasting time? Can you come out? So it's a very delicate case, but she needs to calm down and seek advice, and also go back to the people who ushered her into marriage and see how best they can resolve it.
Beautiful. So you can call us on 978-325-3332 to add your voice, your contribution. What should this woman do? She has discovered after marriage that this is a condition. Now she feels cheated. She feels, but how come I never knew these things? I'm knowing them now, and I've tried to talk to my husband. Maybe he can go this route, but he has refused. He has said that if you are forcing me to go this road, it means that you, in the first place, you are not a virgin. There's something wrong with you. That's why you're forcing me to do this. Because if you were a virgin, this couldn't have been a problem. So this is the issue that they're having in the house. What do you think this woman should do? Now, man of God and woman of God, looking at this situation, I'm looking at both sides. Don't you think this man had the opportunity to say the truth, to speak the truth, to tell the woman the truth of what's happening? Because a micro is a condition which someone needs to know. Maybe you are asthmatic, you are what? Your partner needs to know. Because when you're getting into that relationship, if you're asthmatic, your partner needs to know what they're getting into so that they can be able to take care. They need to make that decision. You get what I'm talking about? But if you say no, actually, in an if Gayafka 12 hours in the pena. Do you get what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Don't you think it would have been also fair for this man to share this condition with the woman before?
Okay,
what
so
is your take?
Let me tell you this. One of the most expensive things is not even a car. It's truth. It's expensive because it can cost you relationships. It can cost you a job just by saying the truth. That's the reason why many opt to lie or to hide truth. So I have to tell you this from the onset. So not many have the truth. You understand? This man genuinely, he loves this woman and he had fear of losing her. He had an opportunity. He was supposed to tell her and take away all fears, but he's not the only one in this, and there are many people that lie on a daily basis because of fear. So he made a mistake not to tell her. It's better you tell a person, they make a decision, they love you for who you are, okay? Not you keep appearances like the way people now are doing. They want people to love them because of a few things, and you are sending pictures on your photo lab on Facebook. You are not giving them a true picture of who you are. Then in reality, I'm gonna be at the battle zone. You understand, kind of thing. So let people know how you understand. They make a decision based on the information they have about you. So it was a mistake from the man to explain it to the woman. But now they are already married. Okay, the man, he needs to apologize.
The mistake has been done.
Has done. He needs to apologize first and tell the woman, sorry, I love you so much. I thought I would lose you. I shouldn't have done this. I'm really sorry. Forgive me. He needs to ask for forgiveness. If they are believers, this is what she talked about, prayer. Okay? She talked about prayer. It depends on the level of their faith. Their miracles still do happen. I believe in miracles. God can still perform a miracle in him. But let's assume a miracle doesn't happen. The question I want to ask here is it possible for a woman to have orgasm without penetration? The answer is yes.
Yeah, it is.
The answer is yes, because if we're talking about marriage, the purpose of sex is procreation. If he's able to get an erection and he can ejaculate, then procreation is sorted out. So it's an issue of enjoyment now.
The enjoyment part.
You understand? So if he knows the skills and the techniques to do, it's very possible for a woman to reach orgasm without penetration. And this is what the man needs to concentrate on, how to get into those realms. And also, depending. Okay, I've read about micro. I've never seen one. Okay, this information.
No, there are very few. You might find that maybe out of 1,000 people, maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah. So anyway, there's information I wanted to give, but some of the things I'm holding back because I feel like maybe the time and the place. There's another solution. But I'm holding back because I know that. Married couples seminar without breaks but it's very possible for a woman to reach orgasm without penetration. So a man must know the skills, know how to do it. It's very possible, 100%.
Skills. I love that.
And techniques.
Skills. Woman, skills are very important in technique. So we'll be having a conference very soon. A conference for couples very soon. Make sure that you come so that the man of God can be able to explain, open the Pandora box. Woman of God, what's your take?
Well, I think he's explained it all. Exactly. So,
uyu mwana kashi. So which means wife 3 months in marriage. Then she feels like giving up. Now I'm taking some under what can she do right now?
First of all, she must forget the mistake the man made. To
forgive
him. Yes. If she concentrates on that, she'll keep on asking people and she'll be wrongly advised.
And she's going to ask a wrong person.
So she must forget that and concentrate on her marriage and just talk to her husband, first of all, like what he has said. Most importantly, let them go for marriage counseling. I think so.
I believe that. Let them now become, because this is a new development in the marriage, which both of them, they were not open to each other about this. So now, since now they know, they need now counseling regarding to this condition and how it can be done. Like the way I've said, there are certain things that can be done, which can make sure that the enjoyment part also, it is done. All these 3 phases are done. Beautiful. Man of God.
Yes.
Last words.
My last words, I want to mention this, that let us understand the purpose of sex. And can we go a step further and go into love making? Especially for married couples, you need to be in love with each other. And it's beautiful when you are having it with someone you're in love with. If there's no love, and sometimes don't do it just as a duty. I know that people are duty bound, but you see, there's just something unique that happens when you are Paul actually, when he was writing to the Corinthian church, he says, he who is joined to a prostitute becomes one with a prostitute. For it is written, the two shall become one. So which means the one that the Bible talks about actually is consummated and actualized when people are having the conjugal rights. You understand? That moment, at that particular moment, you become truly one in body and in spirit. So there must be a desire on both sides. And also, I want to advise men, especially Bashimbusa. Like I know my brother Godwin is one of those that will not tell you, but the fact that he has written missing links and is doing this, we need to gather all the Chimbusa and start concentrating on the male form to teach them. Because there's an information gap, and the people that don't have information are the men. They are the ones that are messing up. Like you mentioned, it was mentioned that Abaleva Sana staffed is the men. Do you know, sometimes the woman, when they know that inch totakuli sana, they would rather not do, they feel like they are being tortured. It's not that Tabale fire, but when Monakati ni torture Tara Ingira Musa, I went to the fire. So Yomuna Monakati himself is staff. And she's failing to tell you that inch to Tambomba win.
All right, woman of God. Wow. Your last words.
From the woman perspective, I would say I think it's important to understand these things deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yeah.
When it doesn't mean that when you get married, you stop learning.
Yeah.
We need to learn more about them and see how best we can.
Understand there are these things involved.
Yes.
Make it interesting.
Yes. And learn more. Learn new things every day, as in how you can take care of your home.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
It's hard to do duties of a woman at home, but we manage through learning from right people, of course.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Awesome. Man and woman of God, thank you so much for coming. You have enlightened us, and I believe a lot have been enlightened. They'll be able to learn one or two things. I know the conference that we're going to have very soon, the marriage therapists, will be able to enrich a lot of these people with this, because we are going to open the Pandora box. But the conference, one-on-one. But in case you got micro, how do you make it more useful? The conference. You can't submit the window. Very extra, but so it's not about actually the sizes, it's about knowing the skills.
The skills and the techniques.
So thank you so much for tuning in. It has been Discover Your Missing Link. I'm your brother and friend Godwin Nyongo, Pastor Martin and Queen Matamando. Thank you so much for coming. Join us on the repeat Tuesday, 21 hours, and next week on the same time. It has been Godwin, and we say bye. Sugar baby. Yeah, let's do this. Ufati chalilo wanaifelelo twaimwena ati chupo chalilo welela lelo twaimwena. Thank you Jesus pachupo twamitotela yawe pachupo. Love and laughter happily ever